two trains on the same subdivision. No clue of any from the two crews, leading to a head-on crash. This is the Kismet train collision. On the late night of June 13th, 2006, a three-man crew were working at the late hours of 8:25 p.m. at BNSF Richmond, California Yard, heading southbound. Their train was M-RICBAR 1-13, which consisted of a whopping 7 locomotives. These trains were BNSF-9 44CW 4059, National Railway Equipment or NREX SD50 5473, BNSF-9 1065, First Union Rail or FURX SD40-2 A110, BNSF GP30U 2437, BNSF SD40-2 7065, and BNSF-9 997. The train soon departed at 10:35 p.m. at Richmond, where it would pick up 55 freight cars at Pittsburgh, California, 30 loads and 15 empties. This train's destination was also at Fresno. Soon, in the dark mornings of June 14th at 3:45 a.m., a two-man crew with an engineer and a conductor were at Colwood, California Yard to operate the train in the opposite direction of the former train. This train was named U-SBD-PKC-1-11 and consisted of 4 trains, which were all -9s. They were BNSF 4479, BNSF 4715, Norfolk Southern 8967, and BNSF 4576, and they were pulling 30 hopper cars filled with cement. The train departed at 4:56 a.m. Both trains were riding on the Stockton subdivision, which runs through Richmond and Colwood, and is mainly a one-line track with a few sidings here and there. One siding the trains would use is one at East Kismet. To put it in short, both 4059 and 4479 would meet, the former of which would stop before the siding and the latter would go through the siding, with both passing without fault. During the uneventful trips, the camera in the cab of 4479 shows its route in the following footage provided. The train slows down to around 40 miles per hour to be diverted into a siding at East Kismet where it would meet the other train. As 4479 rounds a bend to the siding, the headlights of 4059 can be spotted from a distance, and it didn't appear to be slowing down. Both crews activated the emergency brakes and either braced for impact or leaped from the cabs to avoid impact. With everything that happened that quick, there was nothing to stop the trains in time. The two trains collided at 5:51 a.m. at a combined speed of 60 miles per hour. The first train had 3 of its engines derail, with the remaining engines staying upright. However, one of the derailed freight cars destroys the cab of 997. The other train did fare better, with all the engines derailing and the cab of 4479 keeping in, and one side was completely destroyed and many hoppers derailed. But with all of this damage caused, the two crews managed to survive the catastrophic accident. But most of them sustained bruises, and even a conductor suffered a fractured ankle. But there was still a mystery to solve, and that was what caused this accident. An investigation was set out by the Federal Railroad Administration, or FRA, to find out the cause. They also conducted a drug test, and the crew of the crew in 4059, and they found cracked cocaine in the conductor system. This type of drug can be dangerous to use because it can ruin your vision and could be dangerous when operating heavy machinery. But it continues. With the other crew members of 4059 that involved an engineer, brakeman, and the conductor again, all stated at East Kismet the signal there wasn't confirmed because of a malfunction where it would switch between red and green, or because of sunlight, which made it unreadable. But these would be debunked and proven inaccurate because a week after the wreck, a test train was assigned down the same track and confirmed all signals were up and working. The test train also debunked the sun blocking the signal, as they confirmed the sun would come into view at 5:53 a.m. This means the sun would rise up 2 minutes after the wreck happened. It was also unlikely the trains had issues, so the FRA concluded the crew of 4059 failed to oblige this signal and didn't halt their train. Now most of you are wondering, what happened to all the trains? Well, most had better fates than others. So let's look over their history after the crash. First, let's start off with NREX 5473, FURX A110, BNSF 2437, and BNSF 7065. First off, NREX 5473 was deemed a total loss and was soon scrapped. FURX A110 was repaired and soon sold off to Web Asset Management, or WAMS, renumbered to 4152, and now runs on the Kansas and Oklahoma Railroad today. BNSF 2437 was also repaired and kept running, but was sold off to Larry's Truck and Electronic and was placed in storage in Galveston, Texas in 2020, slowly rotting away. It wouldn't be for long because in 2022, it was brought back out of storage and currently runs somewhere in the Midwest of the United States. It remains a mystery of what its current status is right now. There's a picture of it in a long run of other BNSF trains, shown here, taken in Claremore, Oklahoma, likely heading up to the Midwest, but we don't know what its status is. Is it still running? Has it been sold off? Was it scrapped? Until someone comes forward, 2437's current whereabouts are unknown. BNSF 7065 again was repaired and continued to operate, but was sold to Helm Leasing, or HLCS, keeping its number intact. But somewhere around the early 2010s, 7065 was sold off to Norfolk Southern and was renumbered 3517. It still runs to this day. Now, time for all the Dash 9s. Starting with BNSF 1065, it was repaired but painted into the BNSF Heritage 3 colors. This also included 4715 and 4479, which was surprisingly repaired after all the damage it sustained. BNSF 997 was repaired despite the cab damage and was repainted into its Heritage 1 color. BNSF 4576 was also repaired and repainted into its Heritage 2 colors, which also included 459 despite its damages. Finally, NS 8967 was repaired and returned to Norfolk Southern, but in 2019 it was rebuilt into an AC-44 C6M and renumbered 4208. So that means the only engine that was scrapped was NREX 5473, which may be a shocker to many people. Even after 19 years, we can still learn something about this crash. Most people could say this accident could be avoided with a PTC, but it's likely that no matter how big or small something man-operated is, we should always pay close attention, or something bad can happen.